Thank you so much. So my name is Hamdan Azhar. This story takes place in 2003. I know I don't look that old, but I was a freshman in college at Penn State. And Penn State is and was one of the greatest party schools in American history. And I am 16 years old. Do not drink. I do not smoke. I have never, kissed a girl. I've never even held hands with a girl. And I dress exactly like this. So you can imagine my freshman college experience is not what you would expect. And I am so unhappy there. I'm so unhappy. I fall into this funk. And because I was like a top kid in high school. I went to a really good high school. And I'm like, what am I doing here? I'm stuck here in the middle of nowhere. And I drive my uncle's hand-me-down Lincoln Town Car, a 1992 Lincoln Town Car. So I'm dressed like this, driving my 1992 Lincoln Town Car, and like the door doesn't open. Like you have to like lift it up. So I'm like driving off and like swerving to get the door to close. The hood doesn't open. You need to use a wrench. The engine doesn't even start. You need to use another wrench to connect the two leads on the battery. And one of the tires is always leaking air. So I drive like 5 minutes. I got to fill air. 5 minutes fill air. I'm a very weird 16-year-old, and I am not having the time of my life. And I just fall into this deep, today we would call it depression. Back then I didn't know that word. And I'm sleeping all day. I wake up at 11:50 p.m. because that's when the campus eatery closes. I run there. I get a pint of Ben & Jerry's ice cream. I get a pack of mozzarella sticks. I get Pringles. That is my one meal of the day. It's sad. I know. I feel it. And so I'm up all night. I'm in my room. I'm doing homework. I'm like writing papers. I don't go to any class, right? At 9 a.m. I wake up. I put the stuff in the professor's mailbox. I'm like a zombie. They're like, who is this guy? I go back to my room. I watch ER. I fall asleep. Repeat. That's my life. And it was a sad life. And then you ask, how did I get there? So the reason I got there is because in high school, I went to the Bronx High School of Science, one of the most elite high schools in the world. 9 Nobel Prize winner school is very proud of. It also produced me, which the school is not proud of. And I tried to overthrow my principal in junior year. Tried to overthrow my principal. I tried to launch a rebellion. Only one problem, I had no friends. She didn't care. She still tried to expel me. She brought out all the big guns. I was a nerd. I called the ACLU. They had my back. They threatened the Department of Education with a lawsuit, and I was fully vindicated. But, I'm an emo kid, so I was still sad. I was like, what's the point of applying to college? The school's going to tell them I suck anyways. What's the point of life? So I applied early action to 4 schools: Harvard, UChicago, Georgetown, MIT. I didn't get into any of them. And at this point, I just give up on life. No, I'm still alive, but I'm just like, whatever, there's no point. So January 1st comes and goes. I don't apply to a single college. I'm not applying to college. March, April, everyone's like, where are you going? Where are you going? I don't have any friends, but kids still are like, where are you going? Where are you going? So I'm like, oh, I'm going to Georgetown. They're like, oh, okay, cool, he's going to Georgetown. One day, the assistant principal grabs me in the hall. She said, we heard you're telling kids you're going to Georgetown. I'm like, yes. She says, we called Georgetown. She says, we called Georgetown, you didn't get in. She's like, what's wrong with you? Do you just not care? I'm like, I'm a nihilist, just kill me. No, I didn't say that. But she grabs me, she puts me in a room, and she says, here's U.S. News and World Report. Start at number 1, call every single school, tell them I'm a student at the Bronx High School of Science, will you please take a late application? She cared, she really cared. But she also tried to expel me, so it was her fault anyways. So I call every school, finally number 61, Penn State, says, yes, we will take your application. That's how I ended up Penn State. And again, I'm not having fun. I'm just in this funk. And because you don't understand, even the dumb kids in my class, the stoners, they were going to Dartmouth. They were going to UPenn. I was like the genius in all of my classes, and here I am at Penn State. Like, what's happening? So I was sad because it's like the world did not go as I planned, and I'm only 16 years old. Does it ever get better? It does. And so I'm at Penn State, and then, one day, I pick up the student newspaper, and it is September 11th, not 2001, 2003. It's September 11, 2003, and I pick up the student newspaper, and in the editorial page, there are all of these letters to the editor. And I read stuff, and it just hurts me. My heart falls. It's like Muslims are barbarians. They attacked our country. We need to bomb Iraq. These people are from the Stone Age. And my heart is like sinking. And I'm already depressed, right? But I'm a Muslim kid from New York, and I'm like, why are they saying that? Like, because I hadn't grown up with that in New York. New York's a very diverse place. And even though I was so depressed and I was in such a funk, I was like, I have to do something about this. And in high school, I had taken AP US History, AP English. I was a writer. I loved writing. I loved the Constitution. And I'm sitting at my computer, 7 a.m. I finished the Ben & Jerry's. I'm about to, pass out for the day. And I'm like, I got to say something. And it says, you can send a letter to the editor. Just email letters@Collegian. So I sit down, I write, I pour my heart out, right? I'm like, I don't know what this guy is talking about. Muslims have been around for a very long time. We're part of the fabric of America. We invented algebra. We invented geometry. I don't know if that's true. I think we did. But we invented a lot of stuff. And I don't know what this guy is talking about, right? Muslims are normal people. We love America, and this guy should be ashamed of himself. And I go to sleep. Next morning, I wake up, I pick up the newspaper, and my name is in the student newspaper. Hamdan Azhar, Muslims are here to stay. And I'm like, wow, I felt so good. I felt like I could make a difference. And then I get an email that day from the Muslim Student Association. They're very formal, very conservative. Dear brother Hamdan, assalamu alaikum, may the peace and blessings of God be on you. We invite you to attend our general body meeting. And I was like, what do you mean? I have no friends. Okay, fine. I go to the meeting. There's a sign-in sheet. I put in my name, Hamdan Azhar. They're passing the sign-in sheet. All of a sudden, everyone's whispering, Hamdan Azhar, Hamdan Azhar. I'm like, what did I do? What did I do? And they're like, you're Hamdan Azhar. I'm like, yeah, what happened? They're like, you wrote the thing. You wrote the letter in the newspaper. I'm like, so what? They're like, you're the only person who's ever responded in all these years. Because they're all engineers, they're all nerds. Some of them don't speak English. They just speak English. But they're like, you stood up for us. We're so proud of you. And I'm like, me? Are you kidding? And then they're like, tonight we're having elections for public relations representative. Your name is on the list. We want you to run. And I get up and I'm like, what did I do? And there's one other guy running, Dan Hummel. He gets up and he says, I would like to withdraw my candidacy. Everyone vote for Hamdan Azhar. And that night I found my calling. I found my people. And when I look back, and since then I did so many things. I became a speaker. I gave a TED Talk. I was on TV. But I look back at that horrible, horrible winter at Penn State, 16-year-old me eating Ben & Jerry's, sleeping all day, thinking, why am I here? Is there a reason? I discovered, yes, there was a reason. Thank you so much. My name is Hamdan Azhar. Thank you.